like I'm doing something right.
It's a wrap. A1 complete.
When we first came out to SF, it was about how can we meet the most amount of people every single week. So we went to all the events, we went to people's houses, we went to, anytime I got invited to something, I would go. And then over the last year, it was like figuring out what do I want to work on for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and who are the people that I need to be associated with or work with or live with to be able to make that happen. And we have all of that now. It's now just about like, now we're able to lock in and just work on the things that we actually care about. I'm excited to be able to see all of these people in person for the first time. A lot of them are people that I have followed online for the last couple of months. Some of them are people I've known for a couple of years. And I think that from looking at our Slack just over the last few weeks, it's very obvious that like everyone is really bought in. Everyone is excited to meet each other and work alongside other Muslim people, because that's honestly something that just like isn't as prevalent in SF. It's not very easy to go and work alongside other Muslim founders that are also very talented. And that's like part of the reason why something like this needs to exist. Things are now starting to become real. This meeting that we just finished was specifically tying up loose ends, making sure that kickoff schedule is planned, making sure that the first 2 weeks are locked in, all of the speakers that we want to bring out are locked in. We sent calendar invites to everyone in the batch so that they know what's going on. And over the next few days, it's really just going to be bringing together the team for the first time and making sure that everything is good to go so that this batch can be as good as possible.
Bro, you're so tall. I did not expect you to be this tall. That's crazy.
We just picked up Zahir from the airport, and now we're all going up to meet up with Shahir for dinner. This is going to be the first time everyone on the team has met each other. And so we all started working together about 3 months ago. Ayman and Zahir are both from Dallas. I had met both of them randomly in Dallas in the past. And then Shahir's someone who's from SF, who I'd worked with before on Founders Inc. events. And so everyone is kind of like, from my opinion, like one of the best people in like my network at what they do. All of those things were roles that we needed to fill for Alif. And so it was very easy, like once I was certain that I wanted to work on Alif this summer properly, it's like they were the first people that were top of mind as far as like, okay, who do we need to bring onto the team to make this real?
Wow, look who's here.
In the flesh.
What's up, dog? It's good, bro. Love the hair.
Because we do need to do like an entire like dry run, like rehearsal on Saturday.
How was the...
Or there's like the route of getting tables going across the edges.
Yeah, edges is good.
This could be something.
Yeah, we could fit at least like...
We're gonna turn the garage into like an office for the 4 of us to work out of, because they got a house a couple minutes from ours. And so tomorrow we're gonna go to IKEA to like fit it out with like desks and chairs. It'll be cool.
Good. Yeah, these are actually not bad.
They're good quality. Yeah. We really wanted to do merch, just because it's one of those things that whenever you're hosting a program or an accelerator or any type of community thing, having something physical that people can use once the batch is done is just always a good feeling. So here just went hard on everything. We have t-shirts, we have a tote bag.
Okay, this is
100%.
This is the only thing in the wardrobe starting tomorrow.
Okay.
If you were in Dash Zero, you will always remember it.
Went to the typical weekly post move, which is we always hit Lapperts after going to the masjid on Fridays. So now we kind of are going to head back to the office, get our last bit of work done for now, and then we're going to head to IKEA. When I first started working on things that were interesting to me, I was 12 years old, I started editing videos for YouTubers, and that turned into a marketing agency and a clothing brand and a podcast and 100 other random things that, I never thought would go anywhere. There wasn't like a Muslim network, like there wasn't like people around me that shared the exact same values as me, that came from the same background as me, that like I could relate to building with me. And so the cool thing about Alif is right now there's an opportunity, like a generational opportunity that has never existed before and will probably never exist again in the same exact capacity, to build things that create real impact because of the technology that exists. Forget about the camera, like looking at my background, like I would have very much like enjoyed having something like this when I was starting out and I had no one around. When people finish an accelerator from talking to so many people that have gone through accelerators, they always look back on two things. It's not the credits, it's not the money, it's the people that they went through the batch with, and like the memories that they created either with people in the batch or with their advisors. And what's interesting about building Alif this way is that we're able to basically punch above our weight in terms of like advisors or mentors that we can bring on, because these Muslim people that have already done the thing, have already built the company, sold the company, been investors for 10 plus years, up until now there have been no clear ways for them to give back to their community and bring up like the next generation of Muslim founders. We're building a space now where people who have already done the thing can help bring up people that are doing the thing for the first time. And that's never existed in the Muslim community in the startup space. There is a very real value in showing people that at the end of the day, we are just normal people. And like we're just people building an idea.
Can't put nobody else over me. Play your part in hands and me like it in family. We're gonna spoil you with diamonds, we're gonna spoil you with diamonds. I'm keeping it 1,000 with you, I'm just being.
So I've always wanted to build something like Alif, even though I never knew exactly what it would look like. I've been sitting on this domain for the last like 3 years. But it was only after working at Effing for the last 2 years and running so many experiments in the same space that I started to get a good understanding of like what the first iteration or what the first experiment for Alif would look like. The people on your team will either all 10x each other or they will be the reason that the whole thing fails. And every single person on this team, I really believe would be trying to do their own version of this, whether or not I was in the picture. And so once it was clear that we had something here and it was worth going all in, I didn't have to convince anyone. They all like went all in on their own accord. Like Eamon moved across the country, quit his job, turned down a $30,000 bonus from his CEO when he told him to stay in the company, packed up and just left and came to SF and got Elise here. The same concept with Zahir. Left his whole life behind, didn't get an internship this summer, put 3 businesses on pause to come out here and just like work on this for the summer. And Shahir's the same way. He was supposed to be in New York right now. But every single person on the team is here because they have a very specific skill that is absolutely needed to make the whole thing work. And from all being together now for the first time ever, over the last couple of days, it's very clear that there is something very special here. If teams could have product market fit, this is what that would feel like. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the actual day of stuff tomorrow, because Eamon has a bunch of things there that we need to do and that he's thought about.
But I'm saying what is the most differentiated concept that we can make that is very shareable?
I'll write a speech, I'll kick it off, similar to what I did with the fundraiser, and then I'm going to introduce, before everything gets started, I want you guys to meet the team. They're the people who made it all happen. You come up, a little bit about your story, why you're working on it, what people should come to you for, and that's the biggest thing, like what you're working on at Alif, so that people are like, oh, if I want an investor or if anything, I go to Shahir. So tomorrow's kickoff day, and it'll be the first time that the entire batch is coming together. As much as we are taking a bet on them by accepting them into the batch, I would say that they're actually taking as large of a bet, if not larger, on us, because a lot of them actually left their families behind or moved across the country to be able to be here for the next 8 weeks. And so the biggest priorities for us as a team are like, how can we make sure that everyone who comes in feels included, everyone who comes in feels like they're being taken care of, or more importantly, we are able to get a good pulse on everyone and where their companies are at, so that we're able to set them up for success by the time demo day comes around in August. Here we go. We're driving to the office right now. It's finally time for kickoff. Our group chat was going off until like 2 a.m. last night with everyone figuring out like their last minute things that needed to get done. And now it really is just about finally getting to meet everyone.
Okay, that looks good.
Here we go.
Now, when you build a company, when you build a product, you always think about who's using it, who are the users, what are they going to do with it. They're not logical in the same way that your mind works. And so I always like to think about the market as illogical. And so, cool, I came up with some idea, my logic says it's good, I have some beliefs on how it could work. I actually need to go prove that.
That works. But I think for today's it's going to be a lot more high level and a lot more just all of us getting to know each other and getting to know, where we are, where our companies are. We just wrapped up with our weekly check-in groups. The whole point of that is to help people keep each other accountable, set very clear goals every week, and then in the end of the batch you can look back and see that you were making progress or see if you're not making progress. That group, the energy in that group was special. It felt like everyone had known each other for years. It felt like everyone had known each other for a long time. And that was apparent in that, one guy was literally like, I don't see the value in your company. And no one took it the wrong way. And it was very like productive, constructive criticism, and I really think that everyone who went through it will come out on the other side with actually like actionable feedback.
Because my only goal, and the team's only goal for these next few weeks, are to consolidate as much power, resources, connections, and capital into your companies as we can. Because if this works for you, when, inshallah, you guys win at Demo Day, that proves that this idea is real. That validates everything that we've been working on. And so as much as you're building your companies and taking them from 0 to 1, we're taking Alif from 0 to 1 alongside you. And if we do this right, if all of us do this right, and we succeed, this first batch can quite literally be historical. With that out of the way, Jazakallah again for being here, and welcome to Batch 0.